I was judged by two neurosurgeons who had never done a brainstem glioma. I have published the largest series of brainstem gliomas in the literature, and in that series I showed that the poor outcome rate was 6%. Yet I was told by these doctors who have never done one that I should have told the patient that the risk was 70%, because in their hands it would have been 70%. And they're telling the truth. In their hands it would have been 70%. But again, the worst thing about it, I'm going to be fine, okay? I'm operating overseas. I'm loving what I'm doing. I'm giving a lot of respect. I'm teaching overseas neurosurgeons, so I'm fine. The saddest thing is what's happening in Australia. And what's happening in Australia is that talented, good neurosurgeons are no longer taking risks because they saw what happened to me, and they're not taking out tumours that can be taken out, and they could take them out. And I see them every day. I promise you, Jenny, I see them every day. Cases where I know the surgeon, I know how good they are, I know they could do it, and they choose not to. But the system is broken. So the system is where you've got a governing body that's almost like institutionalized narcissism. And what I mean by that is that a narcissist controls, they surveillance, and then they silence. And that's exactly what the governing bodies are doing. They control on the basis that they are doing it for the greater good, the public's greater good. So they are under the guise of this omniscient, good body that knows exactly how to bring stray doctors into control. So what that means is that they basically controlled by regulation, controlled by mandates, controlled by codes of conduct, and all those things are very reductionist. I have the highest H index out of any neurosurgeon in Australia, which is your code, your measure of academic integrity. So the most reputable academic neurosurgeon in Australia was not allowed to bring up any sort of past. And the judge then goes, no, we can't discuss the 11,000 cases. We're here to discuss the 2 patients on the table. That's all. And my lawyers go, well, hang on, you're criticising him for making a surgical decision of operability. Surely you want to know if his track record's good or not. Like if his track record was bad, then you're right, he shouldn't have recommended surgery. But can we please tell you about his track record, which he's published in a peer-reviewed journal? Nope. I wasn't allowed to bring that up. Everyone thinks it was a court of law. It was not a court of law. So they don't have to find proof beyond doubt. They get the opinion of a couple of your competitors who have been publicly against me in the past, but that didn't mean anything. And it's not just me. I mean, the whole process has been labelled as, corrupt and lacking due process and all this kind of stuff. And there's been royal commissions and Senate inquiries. They've all condemned the system. So it's not as if it's ever had a clean bill of health. It's always been condemned. But the last royal commission came up with 100 and odd recommendations. It was like 128 recommendations, of which only 2 were followed through on. So, these royal commissions and Senate inquiries, they're all good intentions of trying to improve the system. But when it comes down to it, AHPRA has total autonomy. It is accountable to no one, not federal government, not state government. It can do whatever it likes. So there's not a single doctor in AHPRA. So you are judged by pen pushers, bureaucrats sitting behind a desk, knowing full well that people are dying because of their decisions. If you're a member of the fraternity, if you are part of the boys' club, you can do anything you like because that's how unfair the system is. There's one rule for Charlie Teo, and there's a rule for a member of the College of Surgeons or a counsellor on the College of Surgeons. It's all about surveillance. And what does surveillance do? It's like the panopticon. And what that means is that, you're constantly being watched. You're in fear. You're worried that you're going to do something that will upset them or transgress, whatever they consider as the norm. So you become docile and you toe the party line. And what does that do for patients? It treats patients like some sort of number or some sort of diagnosis code. And really, that's the message I'd love to get across to people, that, you know, these hurdles are put in front of you, not to stop you, but for you to just climb over them and become better, bigger and better. Yeah, you know, you've got to stay positive, Jeannie. And the conversation we had before the podcast was, you know, both of us were sort of disturbed and worried that it won't change. But we can't think that way. We've got to think that people like you, Health Alliance Australia, people like me who have a voice, you know, we will change the diaspora, and we will change the whole, you know, sort of landscape of medicine and the way it's delivered and the way doctors are governed.